Joining us right now for the latest is retired Air Force Brigadier General Robert Spalding. He is now the CEO of tech security firm Semper. Thank you, General, for being with us today. I mean, we hear about this, and I know it sets off some alarms for people. How do you read this latest move from Xi?
You know, I think they have the capability, certainly, to impose their will on Taiwan, but you have to wonder why they haven't done it. And I think there's a couple of reasons. One, I think they're concerned about the backlash and implications to trade, considering how their economy is going. And so I do think it does restrain them. You know, the other challenge, though, that we face is as they become further decoupled from the Western economy, then they may become more aggressive. So it's hard to say now what will happen with this, even because of the rhetoric.
If they do move to try and take back Taiwan, what is the U.S. response?
I don't think we'll have really the resources or the time to respond. I mean, it's just off their shore. They have immense military capability. I think the response is going to come in very much the same way that the Russia-Ukraine scenario has played out, and that is it'll be sanctions, it'll be a further cutoff of trade. And I think the United States will work to get the world behind cutting off China from economically from the West.
What does that mean from a perspective of the chokehold that China would then have on semiconductor chips, given all of the semiconductor production in Taiwan?
Well, I think that's why Biden administration and the Trump administration has continued to accelerate the movement of manufacturing back to the United States. I think one of the things that's been happening quietly behind the scenes is Steve Feinberg at the Pentagon has been working hard to reestablish an industrial base here in the United States and in friendly countries. And so I think that's what you're going to see, a continuation of rebuilding of our industrial base here in the United States.
But that is not something that's going to be accomplished in 2026.
No, it's not. But it's been going on for several years already. It's just accelerating now. And I think it's accelerating in ways that, quite frankly, the business community is oblivious to. I think if you were in the halls of the Pentagon, you'd see this very concerted effort to establish firmly in the United States the ability to produce the things that we need.
We've watched this play out already with rare earths and the relationship that the Trump administration is forging with Australia over that as an alternative source for some of those rare earths. But what would this mean immediately from the United States perspective if that were to happen?
Well, I think if we're going to have a crisis in Taiwan, it's certainly some of the things that we could see here in the United States is disruption to our digital infrastructure, to our power grid. We've already seen malware embedded throughout our country. I think we'd see further isolation and cutoff from things that are needed here. It could be rare earths. It could be other things that are part of the supply chain here. A lot of times the difficulty that we have is identifying Chinese components because they do get transshipped through other countries and then added into the supply chain, oftentimes at unbeknownst to the actual supplier.
General, when you look back to April, there was this view, certainly April, even the beginning of the year, that the Trump administration and the tariffs would really be not so much a death blow to China, but certainly a big blow to their policy and economy. But if you look at how they have masterfully negotiated this past year with the rare earths and, increasing their manufacturing economy, it seems that I wouldn't say it's only made them stronger, but they've certainly survived this. How do you see this year playing out for the China economy?
Well, I mean, we really didn't have a choice. Most of our things that we're manufacturing, the subcomponents, have their origin in China. So it's not like that we had the ability to not deal with them. I think the thing that people aren't aware of is how hard the Pentagon is pushing to change things. And I think that's going to pay off in the next couple of years. And you're going to see a wider rift between how products are sourced as from how they are now.